The best way of getting a 1000x is through LaunchPads. What if there was a top tier LaunchPad running at an 80% discount? In fact, it's greater than 80%. Well, that's what we're going to cover in today's video because timing is everything. So if you like today's content, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. If you don't know me by now, my name is Jiggy. I'm the award-winning author of The Extraordinary New Venture Capital Opportunity, How to Invest Like a Pro. Been featured in the best-selling book, High Probability Trading Strategies, back in 2008, where I only used to focus on currencies, but now exclusive on cryptocurrency. So let's dive straight in. AdaPad, my friends. AdaPad is running at an incredible discount, and there's four main reasons why. And you need to understand this because timing, we got this small window of opportunity where certain things have lined up for us. Now, just a quick reminder, I did a video on MetaVPad, and we said, look, it's looking through 1000x, and it smashed 1000x. It did 1290x, and I'm going to use that as a reference later on. We know that DotPad is coming. Launchpad for the Polkadot ecosystem and the Kusama ecosystem going to be launched, and I believe it's also going to be launched on AdaPad. So if you're new to LaunchPads and you haven't kind of done a lot, I've actually built a masterclass that kind of upskills you very, very fast in layman terms of some of the key things that you need to be aware of. It's in the description below. It's absolutely free. Take it, enjoy it. But today we're going to focus on AdaPad. There's a few key things that most people will miss, but we're going to cover it today step by step. First of all, Bitcoin. The price is down. Yeah, the last since, I think it was, when was it? When was the date? It was late last year. I think it was November, give or take. We've had this very big move to the downside where the price is around 42,000, 41,000 thereabouts. We actually projected this in advance if you see some of my previous Bitcoin videos. But when this happens, it affects all the markets, all the cryptocurrencies, and especially the low caps. When Bitcoin is moving down, low caps tend to move down faster. When Bitcoin is moving up, low caps tend to move up even faster, and most launchpads are considered low cap because they're under 250 million, under 100 million, some even under a 50 million market cap. So first thing, why is AdaPad so cheap right now? Well, everything's cheap right now. A lot of things are cheap right now, mainly because of the category king of cryptocurrency. It's like the macro indicator, Bitcoin. And we want to be aware of that because if we do get a continuation to the upside and making all-time new highs, guess what? Bitcoin's momentum will lift everything up. It's just the nature of the market. It is what it is. So first thing, Bitcoin, right? Price is down. We know that. Second thing, why is AdaPad down so much right now? Well, on their website, they haven't got any projects listed that are coming up, right? We know that DotPad is launching on the 27th of Jan, but right now on their website, so there's no hype, with ValusPad, they got Verve, they got WeWay, which is launching, I think, today. They've got Bad Days, the NFT project, which is also, I think that's going to be on, it's a few of the launch pads, but it's not on AdaPad. I think there's another one. There's a Valera DAO, which is on the 1st of February. That's on ValusPad. There's a lot of noise over there. But on AdaPad, look, there's nothing on the website. But that is a great opportunity for people that haven't bought their membership yet. Why? Because people are panicking or they're kind of looking at, the grass is always green on the other side. So they're buying other pads, selling their AdaPad. So the price, the supply and demand model is going down, 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 down. So this is the second reason why I believe AdaPad is massively discounted right now because there's no projects listed. There's no hype. There's no marketing. It's just kind of, tumbleweeds. There's no noise right now. But that's not going to be the case, I don't believe, in the coming weeks and months. Next up is number three, rule number three. This is not rule number three. This is the reason number three to consider AdaPad. DotPad is launching on the Telegram. It said 27th of Jan, the market cap's going to be under 300,000, which is actually a bit higher than what the usual pads are launching, but it's for the Polkadot ecosystem, and I believe it's launching on all the BlueZilla launch pads, including AdaPad. So when if you're considering the membership, go, which one do I want to go and get? A quick caveat, if you're from the US, you have to pass KYC, and I don't believe you'll pass KYC because of US law. Just kind of quick caveat when it comes to IDO platforms and launch pads that require KYC. Next up is currently, this is the AdaPad price action. This was the IDO. It did a 360x and it's done a massive correction down to this 78.6%, Elliott wave in Fibonacci terms, what we call a wave 2, but it's 45x from the IDO price. So in other words, the IDO was 0.004. That was the token price. It went to well over $1. and now it's down to 18 cents. So that's only a 45x. And keeping in mind that it did go up to a 360x. So it's 80%, more than 80% cheaper than its all-time high. So this is the price action. But what's another reason to consider AdaPad? Well, what tends to happen is when a big project is coming up, there's a lot of hype and a lot of demand. And we're going to go over a couple of examples and a couple of case studies so you can kind of see the way the markets work, especially with IDOs. It's a very fickle market. When the projects are running up, people are buying, buying, buying. It's like panic buying to make sure you get maximum allocation. And then after the IDO is finished, it's sell, sell, sell. And sometimes the price just dips. So we want to be aware of these market movements when we're considering IDOs and launchpads. So what I anticipate with AdaPad, along with most and other cryptocurrencies that have gone for a deep correction, when there's a strong project, which AdaPad is a very strong launchpad for the Cardano blockchain, we know a lot of things are happening there. What tends to occur after a wave 2, this is just basic Elliott waves, wave 1, wave 2, is a wave 3 at a 1.618 Fibonacci extension. So this is around the $2 mark. So another thing, this is likely, right? Likely at some point in the coming months that AdaPad currently is around 18 cents, 20 cents, 18 cents, is probably going to be valued at around $2, right? Keeping in mind if Bitcoin starts making all-time new highs, if there's more projects being launched in AdaPad and the Cardano ecosystem is building out, there's going to be a lot more demand. And when there's a lot more demand, people are going to buy the token. When people buy the token, guess what? Price goes up. So this is another reason why you should consider. Again, we can only do probabilities and never certainties. So again, these are just the high probability facts that I'm seeing that we should consider when considering your membership, right? Membership. And when .pad gets closer and it starts saying, it's launching an AdaPad on ValidPad and so on and so forth, people are going to start buying the token towards .pad. If the market picks up, if Bitcoin reverses and starts showing some bullish momentum, it will pick up even more. But keep in mind that MetaVPad did a 1290x in bearish conditions. There was so much hype about it because of the metaverse, a very big deal, and because of the BlueZilla marketing and everything else. So this is reason number, I think we're on 3. I think we'll give some bonus reasons now. AstroSwap has been given its date, I believe it's the 28th of Jan, that they're going to launch. Why is this important for the AdaPad when we're considering AdaPad? Well, this is going to be the version 1 DEX. There's a couple of DEXs looking to launch on the Cardano ecosystem, and AstroSwap is looking to be one of the big players in that ecosystem. So what does that tell us? Well, if and when the Cardano ecosystem gets more and more lively, there's going to be potential for more exclusive projects for AdaPad, because this AdaPad stands for Cardano, right? So it's CardanoPad. It's a launch pad for the Cardano blockchain. So there'll be a lot more exclusivity. And we're starting to see that with ValidPad. We've got Valero DAO that's launching, which is the main infrastructure project for the Valis blockchain, but it's launching on the ValidPad. And we're probably going to see a lot of that kind of movement happening for the Cardano ecosystem. So AdaPad will probably get a lot more exclusive deals, whereas everything else, MetaVPad, currently NFT launch, Game Zone, a few of the others. What's the others? I'm just thinking which others are on the Binance Smart Chain. So there's a lot of competition on the Binance Smart Chain, but not as much competition on the Cardano blockchain. So this might be a blue ocean of opportunity where new projects are launching on the Cardano blockchain through AdaPad. Right now, though, it's quiet, right? Which doesn't make it feel comfortable and natural to buy something when it's quiet. But when it's quiet, everyone is selling. When everyone is selling, you can get some bargain deals. And even though it's not cheap per se in terms of dollar amount, in terms of comparing it to its all-time previous highs, it is cheap as chips. It's 80% cheaper. Very, very important. And in a few weeks' time, that could just change. So I got an example for you how fast it can change. Check this out. I did a video on, I think this was August 26th, right? 2021, August 26th. It was on TronPad, and the price of TronPad was 3 cents, right? 3 cents. And what we said in the video, and is a great video. I think it got a lot of views. What was the views on this one? It's got like over 10,000 views. So you might have seen this video. It was all about timing. We said it's not peak IDO season, but it might be the best time to buy your IDO membership and wait for the peak IDO season. Because in peak IDO season, guess what? Membership prices just go through the roof, right? Go through the roof. And that's exactly what we saw with TronPad. August 26th, the price was 3 cents. November 9th, like 6 weeks, it was 21 cents. So this is the logic that's why I'm bringing this video to you today. Is the top tier is called Sun tier membership on TronPad requires 500,000 tokens. You can work out the middle tier as well, 200,000 tokens, and I think 50,000 tokens for the beginner guaranteed allocation tier. So if you buy 500,000 tokens at this price, when we did the video on August 26th, you're going to get Sun tier membership for $15,000. Now, I'm not saying that's cheap in terms of dollar amount, but in terms of for what it is and the value and the returns that people would have got in the coming weeks and months from this date, it is an absolute bargain steal. Like, it is ridiculous. Then just a few weeks later, right up here, the same exact membership for the Sun tier membership at 21 cents. Guess what price it is? Have a guess, right? 3 cents to 21 cents. You're paying $15,000 6 weeks earlier. And now, 6 weeks later, what's the price? For the exact same membership, $105,000. But why? Why? That is ridiculous. How can something go from, imagine that you're buying a car and you sleep on it for 6 weeks and you go back and say, yep, I'm ready to buy. And the guy goes, yeah, it was 15,000 6 weeks ago, but today it's 105,000. You go, what? That's nearly 10 times more expensive. How? So this is the how. So on, I think it was, when was it? September 3rd, NFT launched on TronPad as well as some other pads. So that created some hype and people saw the result. It was over 100x. Then we had AdaPad launch. AdaPad itself launched on September, it's actually supposed to be September 9th. It was September 9th, not 3rd. September 9th, right? It launched on September 9th. And AdaPad did a 360x. And a lot of people were very, very happy with that. And a lot of people felt that they missed out. And then Postpad was announced. And the launch date was November 10th. And in the build-up towards November 10th, man, the hype was real. Jeez, people just was buying. And it was because of this, because there was a lot of hype around Postpad, around Postchain. And I think it did a 500x. I think it was 500, 600x. And it just exploded. But this is how the mechanics of buying and selling behavior works. There's factors that we want to take into account. But right now for AdaPad, it's quiet. People have been selling. People have been kind of going, hey, hang on a second. AdaPad's got no projects launching in the next coming weeks, but ValasPad has, GameZone has, NFT Launch has, BSEPad has. What about AdaPad? All right, let me sell my AdaPad membership. But this is the time to be buying your AdaPad membership, in my opinion, just based on probabilities, never certainties, right? So hopefully this is making sense. So here's the case. This is like a law case, right? Here's the case that I'm going, look, guys, there's a small window of opportunity here. And in a few weeks' time, it might be a few days' time, I don't think this price is going to stay this low and it's going to explode. And then it'll be 3 times more expensive, 5 times more expensive, like we saw with TronPad, 10 times more expensive, and maybe even 20 times more expensive, right? So we know Bitcoin is down. That is important to note. Why? Because sometimes people think the price reflects the project. That's not the case. The price is just short-term voting based on mass psychology of fear and greed, right? Because the AdaPad, the Cardano ecosystem is improving. So AdaPad is improving, but the price is going down. So there's a bit of a disparity. It's called a divergence, almost like the value is increasing, but the price is decreasing. How can that be? Next up, there's no projects listed on the website. So it's quiet, it's tumbleweeds. People are like, hey, where's the project? There's no hype, there's no marketing, there's nothing to look forward to in the coming days and weeks with AdaPad. So you go, okay, that's a good thing for those that are looking to buy the membership. Bad thing for people that are holding tokens and looking at their token price going down. But if you're buying the membership for the first time or adding to your membership or upgrading your membership, then this is perfect buying conditions for memberships because it's not IDO, peak IDO season. We know the price is down, significantly down, over 80%. We know the AstroSwap and some other DEXs are launching on the Cardano ecosystem, meaning that there's going to be a lot more volume coming into that and a lot more projects launching into that ecosystem. So AdaPad will be one of the big players for launching new projects and incubating new projects because the BlueZilla team, they got a lot of eyeballs, right? And people want to be launching on BlueZilla because they got a lot of marketing skills. And then also we've got a big project coming. .pad is not on their website right now, but we've got the date, 27th of January. And that's more than likely going to launch on AdaPad. I'm not sure if it's been confirmed yet, but I think it's launching on all BlueZilla LaunchPads. So last thing I want to cover is price, cost, kind of get some math going here because these are the common questions that I get on YouTube. So we're going to do some math. So today's price, like as I'm recording this, is around 18 cents for AdaPad tokens, but I've just written 20 cents. So we just want to see how much at today's price, at today's token price, would the copper membership, which requires 25,000 tokens, bronze membership requires 50,000, silver membership requires 100,000 tokens, and gold membership requires 200,000 tokens. And you can see you get more allocation. And we're going to go into that in a bit more depth in a second, because a lot of these things are not that intuitive and everything is difficult before it's easy. By the way, if you want to learn more about IDOs and Launchpads, I've got IDO and Launchpad Masterclass in the link below. So copper, 25,000 tokens times 20 cents is $5,000. So the copper membership today would cost you around $5,000. I'm saying around because by the time you see this video, the price might be further up, it might be further down. So just take that with a pinch of salt. Bronze membership requires 50,000 tokens, so that's $10,000. Silver, 100,000 tokens will cost you $20,000. And gold membership, $200,000. 200,000 tokens will cost you $40,000. So is that cheap or is that expensive? Well, it's much cheaper than what it was 3, 4, 5 weeks ago when MetaVPad was launching the days before. The token price of AdaPad was over $1. So you would have to have paid $200,000 for this gold membership. You would have had to pay $100,000 for this silver membership. You would have paid $50,000 for this bronze membership, and you would have paid over $25,000 for this copper membership. Is that making sense? Yeah. So, and it's just timing. Like we're talking about a number of weeks. So this is just, it is what it is. So the last thing we're going to cover is a case study, MetaVPad, right? Because I get a lot of questions on, Jagir, what's the pull weight? How much allocation am I going to get? And I go, it doesn't quite work like that because every project is different. Every project is raising a certain amount. Each Launchpad has a certain number of members, staked members. So there's moving numbers and it's only released. We only get that information on the day, but we can speculate with some, past history data. So what we're going to look at with this last bit is how much allocation through AdaPad did AdaPad members get on these different memberships on copper, bronze, silver, and gold. How much was MetaVPad, your allocation that you would have got, valued at the all-time high of the MetaVPad price? But we need to get realistic also because there's only normally a small 5-minute window where that price spikes and you have to be quite fast if you want to take profits at that 1290x, and then the price just corrects and then it'll hover around that price, and then in the next cycle it will tend to exceed the previous all-time high. So you want to be kind of familiar with that as well. So then today's price, MetaVPad is around a 300x. It's sitting at around 30 cents. So it's around 70% down, maybe even a bit more, 70, 80% down from its all-time high. So we want to go, okay, what is my allocation? What would it be worth at today's price? Keeping in mind that you would have got 10% unlocked on day one on the token generation event on the listing date. And then after a month, you start to get linear vesting, which means your tokens get released on a day-by-day basis over I think it's a 5-6 month period. And then you just get your MetaVPad tokens. So this is the trick. I'm going to pull up a calculator in a second. If you can find out what one of the membership allocations, what the allocation was, then you can work backwards to see what is the other allocations. And the way you do this is, I know the top tier for AdaPad for MetaVPad would have got $182 allocation, right? But if you know that information, it's not that clear to see how much would the silver tier membership would have got. Well, what you simply do is you take the number of dollar amount, $182, you divide it by 48, the pull weight, and then you multiply it by 22, the pull weight of the silver, and that will give you the number. It will be $83, right? So silver would have got $83, bronze would have got $38, and then copper would have got $19. And I know what you're thinking, right? Because everyone thinks the same. So hang on, Jagir, hang on. I'm paying $5,000 to $10,000 membership price, and they're giving me $19. Are you kidding me? What am I going to do with $19? Well, this is the beauty of IDOs, right? IDOs are getting at rock bottom prices with very, very tiny market cap. So I think MetaVPad was launched at $170,000 market cap, right? Which is tiny. And I think it's currently sitting at 30, 40, 50 million market cap. So now let's look at the numbers. If $19 does a 1290x, as in you just take $19, multiply it by 1290, what's the number? Anyway, 24 grand. 24 grand. That's not bad considering at today's price, copper membership cost you 5 grand. On bronze, you would have made almost 50 grand. On silver, your $83 would have converted into $107,000. And on gold, you would have converted to nearly $250,000, $234,000. So you can see the numbers are really, really healthy. But I know what you're thinking. Go, hang on, Jagir, though. The 1290X, how long did it stay there? I go, not very long, around 5 minutes. And then it dropped down back to 1000X and down to 700X, down to 600X. And then it hovered between 500 and 600X for quite a while. And then in these bearish conditions when Bitcoin's been dipping more, it's now dropped down to today's price around 300X. And you go, oh, well, that's not great. Well, I go, well, let's look at the value of the full allocation. Let's say you didn't sell anything of today's price. So $19, today's price, it would still be worth $5,700. $38 will be worth $11,400. $83 will be worth $24,900. And then $182 would be worth $54,600 at today's price if you didn't sell anything at the IDO itself. If you sold at the peak, this number would be higher. So the last thing I want to cover is just cost. Let's just do a direct comparison reminder, because this is important, because I realized I love this strategy, but there's a lot of moving parts. There's vesting schedules. There's your token price is moving up and down. Your AdaPad APY, and you get Cardano tokens. You get ADA tokens as your reward, but the APY is also moving all the time. Then you got your IDOs, and they're moving up and down all the time. You got vesting schedules and so on and so forth. It's a lot of moving parts, but we want to kind of keep things simple, where we can just look at, all right, at today's price, Copper membership will cost you $5,000. If DotPad does a similar price movement to MetaVPad, or even if it does the 300X, even if it just does the 300X, you go, okay, that one IDO will cover your cost. But also keep in mind that you still own the underlying token of AdaPad, right? So in the future, you can sell it, whether it's at the same price, slightly higher price, or significantly higher price. It can vary. Also keep in mind, with IDOs and LaunchPads, I would only seriously consider this strategy if you're looking to do 5, 10, ideally 20 IDOs, 15 to 20 IDOs. So I wouldn't just focus on like one, like just DotPad or just whatever launch that's happening. I would go, no, I want to do 15 and get the average and give it time, give it space, so you can kind of really, because a lot of people kind of just FOMO in, buy the MetaVPad and then FOMO out. But then after MetaVPad launch, the token prices just dipped. Like people just, there was massive hype for MetaVPad. As soon as the IDO finished, there was a massive sell-off. Like things just went down 30, 40, 50, 60%. And that's not comfortable. So, but if you're holding for 15, 20 IDOs, then it's a different ballgame, different business plan. Bronze cost you 10,000. So at the peak, you would have made, like a 5x. But even at this current price of MetaVPad, 11 grand, you would have covered your cost of your membership. But keeping in mind that you still own the membership token that you can sell in the future, and you're going to get APY. So MetaVPad, by the way, was the best performing IDO, as far as I'm aware, of 2021, at least big projects with liquidity. But the others would have done 500x, 600x, 200x, 100x. Many would have done 20x, 30x, 50x. Not all of them are going to do 1000x. Not all of them are going to do 100x. That's important to know also. So 20 grand silver membership at today's price, give or take, depending on when you're watching this, you would have made 24 grand. And then last but not least, today's price, gold membership is 40 grand. And you would have made today's price on MetaVPad 54 grand. And at the high, 234,000. So there you have it. Then if you want to learn more about IDOs, you can see this is a green screen, by the way, and the sun is now starting to shine. So I haven't got the curtains closed. So this is what's happening over here. So you'll see the power of IDOs. And if you want to learn more about them, take my free IDO and Launchpad masterclass in the link below. It kind of covers everything. But hopefully you've seen the power of IDOs, high probabilities, never certainties. And I believe DotPad is likely to do a 300, 500, maybe 1000x. But the key lesson today was because of timing, because of market conditions, because there's no projects launching right now on AdaPad, the market is suppressed. People are fear. There's fear, there's uncertainty, there's doubt. So therefore, people sell early. They sell at a loss, and the prices get suppressed and suppressed and suppressed. There's no real marketing happening at the moment with AdaPad because of the launches. But if we can have the vision and the foresight to look a bit into the future, where we go, oh, actually, DotPad's launching, we've got AstroSwap DEX launching, which means more projects are going to launch on that DEX directly, and there's going to be more exclusivity. So then we can have a bit of foresight of what's likely to happen. And we can use ValusPad as an example. We can use TronPad as an example. So there you have it. What do you think? What do you think? I gave you the case of AdaPad. Hopefully you see this in time. And if you're looking to buy your IDO membership, you're going to get it at a massive discount. I think just buying it at the discount is like 90% of the battle, because then the rest of it is very, very comfortable. But also keep in mind, the price could keep going down, right? We don't know. We don't know. It's only probabilities, never certainties. Right, let's finish on a quote. The quote today is the classic. It's the classic. It's the Warren Buffett quote. Rule number 1, never lose money. Rule number 2, never forget. Rule number 1. That is so profound right now because risk management, people are terrible at risk management. I teach a lot of students, I coach a lot of people, and I listen to comments. And just naturally, from trading currency for over 15 years and doing crypto, when I speak to people are terrible at taking profits. Becoming risk free, people get overly aggressive. So you want to have your risk strategy in play when you can get risk free. When the market conditions are like it is today, and you're looking to get involved with, today we're talking about an IDO platform, AdaPad, you can get it at a discount. So it mitigates the risk of you losing money with AdaPad. Why? Because you're getting at rock bottom prices. And when projects start to launch and the market picks up, which is likely to do, not guaranteed, but likely to do, then when AdaPad is 40 cents, 50 cents, $1, $1.50, $2, you're going to be happy as Larry on the balance sheet because you're going to be showing a profit. So if you like today's video, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification.